Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome. And thank you for joining us for this session. I have the pleasure of introducing our Land of the Snow Leopard network facilitators who are going to be going over a series of programs throughout Central Asia and the Altai Republic of Russia, the Buryat Republic of Russia, Mongolia, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. To introduce Land of the Snow Leopard, I'd like to introduce our first facilitator, Amagul Asmanova. Amagul is the director of the Talent Forum Public Foundation in Kyrgyzstan. She is also serves as the co-director and country coordinator for Kyrgyzstan of Land of the Snow Leopard Network, LOSL for short. In Kyrgyzstan, Amagul has experience teaching in schools and lecturing at universities. And for the last 10 years, her NGO has been very actively in promoting ethno-environment education in a range of capacities. And the Rural Development Fund and Talent Forum are working with school children and teachers, creating opportunities for education in festivals, art, and teachers training, which includes lots of innovations and methodologies and approaches in engaging children and teachers and adults alike in conservation. So without further ado, Amagul is going to be introducing LOSL and the programs that we're going to be discussing today. So over to you, Amagul. Thank you.
Yes, I will speak very briefly about traditional ecological knowledge and indigenous perspective on conservation, and tell about our network, the Land of the Snow Leopard, a little bit, because we have other speakers today. I will speak very briefly, but we'll be happy to answer all your questions. First of all, I would like to tell a little bit about traditional knowledge. And I highlighted the main characteristics of what traditional knowledge is based on the materials of annual UN forums on indigenous issues. First of all, traditional knowledge is the knowledge, innovation, and experience of indigenous peoples. It is formed from experience gained over centuries. It is adapted to the local culture and environment. It is often passed down orally from one generation to the next in the form of stories, songs, folklore, proverbs, cultural values, beliefs, rituals, etc. Also, it is used for collective management of common lands, territories, and resources, for example, indigenous farming practices. And what is really close to conservation, it is caring for the land and avoiding resource depletion. There are a lot of debates on what is indigenous, taking into account social, geographical, and cultural contexts. But the main characterizing feature of traditional knowledge is that it is locally based. It is grounded in a particular culture and landscape. Of course, we all know about traditional knowledge, which includes Indian Ayurveda or Chinese traditional medicine. But less attention is paid to traditional ecological knowledge, which is linked to the issues of sustainable development and healthy, balanced livelihoods. Traditional ecological knowledge is formed by indigenous and local peoples over hundreds or thousands of years through direct contact with their environment. Traditional ecological knowledge is essential for communities to survive and flourish within the given contexts of local environment, culture, and economy. If you are interested to go deeper and learn more about traditional ecological knowledge, I would recommend to read the book, which is called Sacred Ecology, written by a distinguished professor and a Canada Research Chair at the National Resources Institute at University of Manitoba, Canada, Fikret Berkes. He is far from, romanticizing indigenous people. He brings instead case studies outlining the way of indigenous management of the lands based on adaptive strategies, ensuring the maintenance of healthy, productive, and sustainable ecosystems. He also emphasizes that indigenous culture includes ceremonies and rituals to enhance connection with the land, to ensure a harvest or hunt, to connect with the spirit of the place, and emphasis on sacred is one of the important aspects of traditional ecological knowledge. Here is the graph of traditional ecological knowledge by Fikret Berkes, which includes a local knowledge of land, animals, land and resource management systems, social institutions, and the worldview. And here you can read the definition by Fikret Berkes: traditional ecological knowledge, a cumulative body of knowledge, practice, and belief, evolving by adaptive processes and handled down through generations by cultural transmission about relationship of living beings, including humans, with one another and with their environment. This is from his book. And more information about the concepts and cases can be found on this collection of articles published by International Program on Traditional Ecological Knowledge and International Development Research Center, available on this link. I would also recommend you to learn more about the International Society of Ethnobiology, which organized the first International Congress of Ethnobiology in 1988 in Belém, Brazil, where for the first time, I think, the Western science made the first, step towards traditional knowledge by inviting indigenous and traditional people from various parts of the world to meet scientists and to tackle environmental issues. And 30 years later, they declared the Belém Plus 30 declaration, where again it was highlighted that indigenous peoples, traditional populations, and local communities manage around 95% of the world's genetic resources, and there is an inextricable link between cultural and biological diversity. I'd like also to tell about the Christensen Fund from California, USA work in Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan, which supported a lot of projects to protect biocultural diversity, including documenting traditional ecological knowledge. For example, here among our speakers, you will be able to talk to Kulipa Akhmatova from Rural Development Fund. They worked on documenting traditional ecological knowledge, and they work on together with the guardians of traditional ecological knowledge. And yeah, she can tell more about the status of traditional knowledge, which is disappearing today. And it is very important to document this knowledge. And if you want to learn more about the concept of biocultural diversity, you can go to the website of TerraLingua and learn more about this concept and different issues and cases. When we say about indigenous perspective of sacredness of nature, we demonstrate the close relationship between humans, animals, and the lived environment. We speak about spiritual significance, spiritual significance of nature for local populations. we take into consideration the worshiping nature. We speak about sacred sites and worshiping rituals, and rituals by shamans and hunters. This also includes taboos for protecting species. You know, taboos are mainly known for social relationships, but when we speak about taboos for protecting species, we can make a direct connection with conservation of local biodiversity. And also totem animals. Totem animals we can find among almost all indigenous people where they have totem animals. And when it's about, you know, many species becoming totemic, it also has a direct relation to you know, protecting these totemic animals. And in ancient times, big cats in every continent were sacred totem animals. And snow leopards were central to the cultures of communities who shared their habitats. Here you can see the picture of experts on traditional knowledge, local experts and international experts visiting Kyrgyzstan in our sacred places. Spiritual leaders held indigenous knowledge and practice. Their ceremonies honored snow leopards as unifiers of humanity and sources of spiritual power, wisdom and inspiration. The Land of Snow Leopard Network aims to continue and preserve this legacy. You can see our logo, the logo of our network, which includes cultural, spiritual, and natural symbols here. And some numbers about our network. We have over 100 members in 5 regions, 7 country coordinators, community coordinators in each of our 5 program areas, and 5 spiritual leaders working with us. Here you can see our spiritual leaders, shamans, sacred site guardians, religious leaders, revered elders. And our network is funded by grants to the Snow Leopard Conservancy, SLC, from California, USA, and is facilitated by its founders, Dr. Rodney Jackson and Dala Hilab. Dala is with us today. You can also ask questions. And here you can see our country coordinators working through local NGOs and formal and informal organizations. And you can see Maria Zhunova, she is also with us today. She is our leader, and I am helping currently to Maria, because Maria is just very recently started her scholarship program in America. I forgot, in one of the very famous American universities. And you can see our country coordinator from Mongolia, from Altai, Buryatia, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. To tell very briefly about the forms of work, I would focus on monitoring, wild nature monitoring by local people. And here you can see the local farmer from Mongolia who is very passionate about taking pictures in the mountains, and he took several beautiful pictures of snow leopards, baby snow leopards. And we also had meetings since 2013 Unfortunately, this pandemic prevented us from meeting last 2 years. And we also try to support the work of the GSLEP, Global Snow Leopard and Ecosystem Protection Program, the ministry level effort to protect snow leopards across 12 countries range. LOSL saw the need to help GSLEP to appreciate indigenous knowledge. We try to bring this message. We also collected and continue collecting data about observing snow leopards in nature, and this survey is conducted through the application on the smartphones. And we also try and form the database where we collect information from our 5 regions, information which is culturally and spiritually important to indigenous local communities. We also try to attend and speak, participate in GSLEP's meetings. And in each area we work with children, we publish educational materials and organize different activities with children and local communities. And you will have an opportunity to learn more about this work from other speakers. Our spiritual leaders are also engaging with their communities and schools, local schools in mountains areas. Here you can see Norbulama visiting schools and trying to bring their environmental education issues. And I would like to conclude that LOSL can help mainstream science, to make the mainstream, the Western science, to make it more holistic. And our main message is that indigenous involvement in conservation planning is also crucial to saving snow leopards. And here I would like to you to listen the praise song for snow leopards. I hope the sound will work. The sound. Can you hear?
Yes. Yeah.
here you can see the link to the website and learn more about the work of our network. And here you can see the logos of our organization, Snow Leopard Conservancy, Rural Development Fund, Tallinn Forum, Kyrgyzstan, Rural Development Fund, Kyrgyzstan, Baikal Buryat Center for Indigenous Cultures in Buryatia, Russia, Pamir Mountains, Tajikistan, and Altayan Foundation for Sustainable Development. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm ready to answer your questions.
Thank you, Amagul.
Thanks, Amagul. That was really, really fascinating. A quick question about the song that you shared at the end. Could you just tell us what, like at least a brief summary perhaps of what the song was about? One, and the second thing, it's a traditional song, is it? Like, when is it normally sung?
Yes, that song was written by our shaman, Mongolian shaman, and another participant member of our LOSL network from Mongolia. And they wrote this song, which is praising song for snow leopard. It's I think it's like praising and praying song for well-being of snow leopards. Because every time we meet, we have a pleasure, we are honored to have ceremonies conducted by our Mongolian shamans, and this is very special moments for us. And maybe Tunga from Mongolia can tell more about the words in the song.
This it. I think we have a translated version of this lyric. So you're right. I agree with you. Just praying for well-being of a snow leopard, high mountain lord.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was really lovely song. Thanks for sharing, Amagul, and great presentation. It was really informative.